Hello, word nerds. Let's just be casual in this episode. Shan't we? Shall we? Can we? Okay. The first word is. Oh, this is the end of page 205. You regular listeners probably know that this is the time when I like to say all the things that I should probably say in each episode, which are. That's number one. Please go rate and review. Podcasters say that all the time, but it really, really, really does help get some more exposure. You get more reviews, you get more, you go up in the algorithm. You get in the charts. I'm not really in any charts, but I would like to be in the charts. Oh, we'll be getting to the word chart. Oh, longer than I thought. There's a lot of words in the section C. What else? If you want to give me some few bucks, you can go to Patreon and do that. You can leave me a voicemail on my Google Voice number. All of this information is in the show notes. You can follow me on all the social media, well, the three of the social media, and you can email me if you want to say hi. Hi. Just this morning, I checked my downloads because, that's a thing that I do sometimes. And today may have the most downloads I've ever gotten in one day, because I think somebody just literally downloaded every single episode plus whoever else downloaded today. Today is March 27th, by the way. That's when I'm recording that. That is not the day that you are listening to this on. This is airing on April 30th. But yeah, we've got 819 downloads for today. March 27th. That's insane. So thank you to whoever did that. You'll hear this eventually, I guess. All right, we got to talk about these words. Page 205. The first word is champion. First form noun from the 13th century. Number one, synonyms are warrior and fighter. Number two, a militant advocate or defender, as in a champion of civil rights. We need more of those. 3, one that does battle for another's rights or honor, as in, God will raise me up a champion. That is a quote from Sir Walter Scott. Did God raise you up a champion? I don't know. 4, a winner of first prize or first place in competition. Also, one who shows marked superiority, as in a champion at selling. Now, that is probably the weirdest example they could have come up with. A champion at selling. I mean, it's technically true, but really? Yes. I feel like I am required to sing, "We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers." I don't know if those are the words. 'Cause we are the champions, doom doom, of the world. I don't want to be too loud. I just have this memory of being a kid, probably like 7 or 8 years old, and somebody taught me the beginning of that song, boom boom ch, boom boom ch, and that's just classic right there. All right, this is from the Middle Latin campione or campio, which is of West Germanic origin, akin to the Old English kempa, which means warrior. That name of the movie would have been different. The Champions. Champions, come out and play. Now we have the second form of champion. It is a verb, just transitive, from 1605. One is archaic. Synonyms are challenge and defy. 2, to protect or fight for as a champion. Number 3, to act as militant supporter of. Synonyms are uphold and advocate. Or advocate? Uphold? Yeah, something. As in, always champions the cause of the underdog. Usually that's a good idea, but sometimes the underdog is there for a reason. But usually I agree with that. And another synonym is the word support. Okay, next is championship. Noun from 1825. All of the champions from all the different things in the sports, they put them all on this boat and they send them away. Number 1, designation as champion. Number 2, the act of championing. Synonym is defense, as in his championship of freedom of speech. 3. A contest held to determine a champion. It is the championship of champions. Next we have chanleve. Chanleve. Champleve. There is an accent on that last E. Chanleve, adjective from 1856, of relating to or being a style of enamel decoration in which the enamel is applied and fired in cells depressed. In which the enamel is applied and fired in cells depressed. Oh, there's more. Gosh darn it. Of relating to or being a style of enamel decoration in which the enamel is applied and fired in cells depressed into a metal background. And then after cells depressed in parentheses, it says as by incising. And then it says compared to, cloisonne. That is another kind of art, I think. There is a They Might Be Giants song called Cloisonne, which we can't play an example here, but maybe when we get to that word, we can play an example. Thank you, Giants. And champleve, it's the same word. It's also a noun. So it's an adjective and a noun. All right. Next is chan, abbreviation for channel. Next is chance, first form noun from the 14th century. 1a, something that happens unpredictably without discernible human intention or observable cause. By chance. 1b, the assumed impersonal, purposeless determiner of unaccountable happenings. Wow. Okay, the synonym is just luck. So that's a very easy way to say that. And apologies for my voice. It's just, it just gets worn out after a little while. So I just want to go back to this definition because it feels, I don't know, maybe you can come up with a good word, but let's just read it again. The assumed impersonal, purposeless determiner of unaccountable happenings. That is a very extravagant way to say luck or chance. I just found that so fascinating. As in, an outcome decided by chance. 1c, the fortuitous or incalculable element in existence. Synonym is contingency. 2, a situation favoring some purpose. Synonym is opportunity, as in needed a chance to relax. I always need a chance to relax. 3, a fielding opportunity in baseball. 4a, the possibility of a particular outcome in an uncertain situation. Also, the degree of likelihood of such an outcome, as in a small chance of success. 4b is plural, the more likely indications. That is the definition, as in chances are he's already gone. Where did he go? Chances are I'm moving on to the next definition, which is 5a. Synonym is risk, as in not taking any chances. That one's also plural. 5b, a raffle ticket. Chance is an adjective. We have a phrase, by chance, and that means in the haphazard course of events, as in they met by chance. A lot of things happen by chance. Okay, that was all the definitions for that one. This is from the Vulgar Latin cadentia, which means fall, from the Latin cadent or cadens, from the verb cadere, which means to fall, perhaps akin to the Sanskrit sad, which means to fall off. I believe that is a prefix, S-A-D, with a hyphen, and there's an accent on the S. To fall off. Okay, if they say so. Now we have the second form of chance. It is a verb from the 14th century, starting with intransitive. 1a, to take place, come about, or turn out by chance. Synonym is happen, as in it chanced to rain that day. Do people speak like this? Is that a thing that people say? 1b, to have the good or bad luck, as in we chanced to meet. 2, To come or light by chance, as in they chanced upon a remote inn. They chanced upon a remote inn. Nobody talks like this no more. Now we have transitive 1, to leave the outcome of to chance. We are leaving it up to chance. 2, to accept the hazard of, synonym is risk, as in, knew the trip was dangerous but decided to chance it. A phrase, chance one's arm, is British and it means to take a risk. You are possibly going to lose your arm if you do this thing. That's what I'm guessing it means. Chance one's arm. Okay, next we have chanceful, adjective from 1594. Number 1 is archaic. Synonym is casual. Yeah, I have never heard chanceful used in that way. Is it a black tie event or is it chanceful? Number 2, full of chance or uncertainty. Next we have chancel. Chancel. Noun from the 14th century. The part of a church containing the altar and seats for the clergy and choir. It is the chancel. Let's see. This is from the Lower Latin cancellus, which means lattice. Lattis. From cancelli, which is the lattice work enclosing it. And there's more at the word cancel. And good time, we are on the last word. Good time for that because my voice is getting real messed up. The last word is chancellery. There's celery. Chancellery. Chancellery. Or you can spell it Ory. Noun from the 14th century. 1a, the position, court, or department of a chancellor. It's the chancellery. 1b, the building or room where a chancellor's office is located. 2, the office of secretary of the court of a person high in authority. We had a lot of those, or of a's, a lot of ofs. There's 3 ofs. The office of secretary of the court of a person high in authority. And 3, the office or staff of an embassy or consulate. There is no etymology. So we had champion, championship, chanleve, chan, chance, chanceful, chancel, chancellery. I think I shall pick chance as the word of the episode. I don't know why, just because I think it's just a good thing. I don't know, it's a good thing? Does that make any sense? I don't think so. Chance. Things happen by chance. There's lots of definitions of chance. The assumed impersonal, purposeless determiner of unaccountable happenings. All right, I think that's good for that. Today is April 30th. It's the last day of April. What's next? It is May is next. In Georgia, it is Armed Forces Day. It is the birthday of King Carl the 16th Gustav, which is one of the official flag days of Sweden. In the French Foreign Legion, it is Cameron Day. In Mexico, it is Children's Day. In Thailand, it is Consumer Protection Day. Let's see. In the U.S., it is Honesty Day. You gotta be honest today. You can tell lies all the other days, but you gotta be honest today. The UNESCO celebrates International Jazz Day. I think yesterday was Duke Ellington Day, so there's probably a connection there. But go listen to some jazz, and you might like it if you've never heard it. In Pakistan, it is Martyrs Day. May Eve. May Eve. I guess some places celebrate that. In Iran, it is National Persian Gulf Day. In Vietnam, it is Reunification Day. In Russia, it is Russian State Fire Service Day. And in Paraguay, it is Teachers Day. Let's check this other. Oh, it's also Arbor Day in the U.S. Something starts Lag Bomer. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a Hebrew. The Omer refers to the 49 days between Passover and Shavuot. Shavuot. Lag Bomer is the 33rd day of counting of the Omer and falls on the lunar date of Okay, it's a Hebrew Jewish holiday. And it is the 18th day of Ramadan. In Denmark, it is Great Prayer Day. In Canada, it is National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. Go get the pets out of the shelters. Also, don't get a pet from a breeder. In Bulgaria, Cyprus, and Greece, it is Good Friday. It is Walburg's Eve in Austria. In Germany, Estonia, Finland, and Sweden, it is Walpurgis Night. And now we need to go to our fun holidays. It is Honesty Day, and I think there's... Yep, I had a sneeze. Honesty Day, we said. International Jazz Day, we said. National Arbor Day, we said. And then the three that we didn't come across were National Bubble Tea Day, so you can go get some bubble tea. That has become very popular in recent years. It is National Raisin Day, so you can maybe get a raisin-flavored bubble tea. Does that exist? And then it is also National Hairball Awareness Day. So you got to be aware of all the hairballs that you might step on. Sometimes we have hairballs, so we need to brush our cats more so we don't have no hairballs. That's how I end that episode. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to this podcast called The Dictionary. If you are a new listener, you should go start at episode 1, A1, number 1. The podcast called The Dictionary, where we read all the words in the English language. This is the top of page 206. The first word is chancellor. Chancellor. It is a noun from the 14th century. 1a, the secretary of a nobleman, prince, or king. 1b, the Lord Chancellor of Great Britain. 1c is British. I think the other ones kind of were too. This one is officially British. The chief secretary of an embassy. 1d, a Roman Catholic priest heading the office in which diocesan business is transacted and recorded. 2a, the titular head of a British university. 2b1, a university president. 2b2, the chief executive officer in some state systems of higher education. 3a, a lay legal officer or advisor of an Anglican diocese. 3b, a judge in a court of chancery or equity in various states of the U.S. And 4, the chief minister of state in some European countries. Chancellorship is a noun. Basically, it's the person who is the head of something. This is from Lower Latin concellarius, which is doorkeeper or secretary. Next is Chancellor of the Exchequer. I think that is how you say that last word. It's 4 words. The last word is exchequer, exchequer. This is often capitalized to just C and E. It is from 1535, a member of the British cabinet in charge of the public income and expenditure. Some political stuff that I don't understand. Next is chance medley. 2 words with a hyphen, noun from the 15th century. 1, accidental homicide, not entirely without fault of the killer, but without evil intent. Number 2, haphazard action. Synonym is confusion. Chance medley. I was thinking it would just be a medley of songs that just happen to go together well, but that is not at all what it is. This is from Anglo-French chance medley, which is mingled chance. Mingled is medley, I guess, or medley. Okay. So you accidentally killed somebody, and it's your fault, but you didn't do it on purpose. Next, we have chancer, noun, from 1959. It is British, and it means a scheming opportunist. You're looking for a chance. Any chance you can get. You're a chancer. Next is chancery. Chancery, noun from the 14th century. 1, a record office for public archives or those of ecclesiastical, legal, or diplomatic proceedings. Number 2, A is capitalized. A high court of equity in England and Wales with common law functions and jurisdiction over causes in equity. I feel like this is a very uninteresting episode because of the words that are in it, but that happens sometimes. 2B, a court of equity in the American judicial system. 2C, the principles and practice of judicial equity. I say it's uninteresting, but that's a judgment. It's uninteresting to me, possibly, but maybe you love these words. 3A, a chancellor's court or office of... Nope, there's another or. A chancellor's court or office or the building in which it is located. 3B, the office in which the business of a Roman Catholic diocese is transacted and recorded. 3C, the office of an embassy. And the synonym is the number 3 definition for the word chancellery. That was at the end of the last episode. We have a phrase, in chancery. Number 1, in litigation in a court of chancery. And then also, under the superintendence of the Lord Chancellor. As in, a ward in chancery. And 2, in a hopeless predicament. That is, in chancery. Any etymology that we want to say? Nah, I don't think so. Next, we have chancre, C-H-A-N-C-R-E, noun from circa 1605, a primary sore or ulcer at the site of entry of a pathogen. And the example is as in tularemia, and then especially the initial lesion of syphilis. It's a chancre, but I think I've heard people say canker also. Maybe that's spelled, I don't know. Chancrous is an adjective. Next is chancroid, noun from 1861, a venereal disease caused by a bacterium and characterized by chancres, although I think people say cankers, unlike those of syphilis in lacking firm, indurated margins. Called also soft chancre, and chancroidal is an adjective. And the bacterium is Haemophilus ducreyi, D-U-C-R-E-Y-E, ducreyi. Next is chancy, adjective from 1513. Number 1 is Scottish, bringing good luck. Synonym is auspicious. Number 2, uncertain in outcome or prospect. Synonym is risky. Number 3, occurring by chance. Synonym is haphazard. And chanciness is a noun. Next we have chandelier, noun from 1736. We just watched a movie called Love and Monsters. It's a very fun, family-friendly movie about a guy who... It's during the apocalypse times, and he has to go out onto the surface. He's living in a bunker, and he has to go fight monsters. Anyway, at the beginning of the movie, the apocalypse is happening, and they're leaving their house, and his mom gives him their chandelier. For some reason, she wanted to keep the chandelier, and so he's holding on to this chandelier, which I thought was just a funny image. Okay, so this, we said that it is a branched, often ornate lighting fixture suspended from a ceiling. And chandeliered is an adjective. I guess you could say your ceiling is chandeliered. This is French from Old French. It means candle holder, modified from the Latin candelabrum. So it's a place to hold candles, because back in the day, before they had electricity or knew how to deal with electricity, because electricity just exists, they put candles on chandeliers. Ooh, I'll find a picture of an old candle holding chandelier. Next is chandelle, C-H-A-N-D-E-L-L-E, noun from 1918, an abrupt climbing turn of an airplane in which the momentum of the plane is used to attain a higher rate of climb. And chandelle is also an intransitive verb. This is it's a French, and it literally means candle. Why that's related to an airplane climbing up, I'm not entirely sure, but that's what that is. And look at that, we're on our last episode. It is Chandler, Chandler. Noun from the 14th century. 1. A maker or seller of tallow or wax candles and usually soap. 2. A retail dealer in provisions and supplies or equipment of a specified kind, as in a yacht chandler. This is from Anglo-French chandelle, which means candle, from the Latin candela. Would that be somebody's last name or first name? Does it matter that they sell candles? I don't know. I can't not think of Chandler Bing from Friends when I see the name Chandler. Yeah. So we had Chancellor, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Chance Medley, Chancer, Chancery, Shanker, Shankroid, Chancey, Chandelier, Chandelle, and Chandler. Those were the words. Which one do I like? Maybe I shall pick Chandelle. Chandelle. That's where the plane goes up. Song. I may stop this song thing, but I don't know. What I have to say the words because otherwise it's just silence. Like they have three kinds of songs, I think, and that's it. That's what you get from me all the time. Planes are flying, and they fly up in the air, and that's Chandelle. Oh boy. All right, this is someday this won't be so bad, right? I don't know why. Okay, so today is May 1st. Happy May. Let us first talk about what things are happening this month. It's a month. It's National Something Month. So let's talk about those first. It is Arthritis Awareness Month. It is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. It is Celiac Disease Awareness Month, Food Allergy Action Month, Melanoma Skin Cancer Detection and Prevention Month. Yeah, I mean, here in the U.S., in the Northern Hemisphere, it's starting to get sunnier and longer days, starting now, basically, so you gotta put on the sunscreen. It is also Military Appreciation Month, National Barbecue Month, National Blood Pressure Month, National Egg Month, National Hamburger Month, National Inventors Month, National Lyme Disease Awareness Month, National Mediterranean Diet Month. That is arguably what they say is the best diet in terms of health. So, think about that. It is also National Salad Month, National Salsa Month. You have to eat salsa every day. National Strawberry Month, and National Teen Self-Esteem Month. Yeah, it's hard enough to be a teen, especially these days. So give your teen some respect and make them feel better about themselves. What else? Today, May 1st, is National College Decision Day. It is Free Comic Book Day, so maybe I'll go get a comic book. Probably not, though. It is the Kentucky Derby. It is World Lyme Day. It is May Day. It's the 19th day of Ramadan. It is International Workers' Day. In the UK, it is La Bealtaine. In Estonia, it is Spring Day. In the UK, it is Staffordshire Day. It's Workers' Day in South Africa. Oh my God, there are so many things today. I'm kind of tempted not even to read them all. Let's check this page to see if there's anything big that we want to talk about. Armed Forces Day in Mauritania, Constitution Day in Argentina, Latvia, and Marshall Islands, Lei Day in Hawaii, that's Lei. And let's just see if there's any specific fun holidays for today. Oh, you know what? We can say that tomorrow. It's International Harry Potter Day. National Foster Care Month. Why wasn't that mentioned in the month list? It's also World Fair Trade Day. Okay, that's enough for this. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to The Dictionary. This is my podcast. My name is Spencer, and I will be your reader today. So the first word is chandlery, Chandlery, noun from the 15th century. 1. A place where candles are kept. Number 2, the business or shop of a chandler. 3, the commodities sold by a chandler. Now we have the word change, and there are two forms, and this is going to take the vast majority of this episode, unless I find a way to talk about something else for a very long time. So change is a verb, the first form. From the 13th century, we are starting with transitive, 1a, to make different in some particular. And the synonym is alter, alter, as in never bothered to change the will. Well, that was not very smart, because now people are going to be very upset. You got to change the will when it calls for it. 1b, to make radically different. Synonym is transform, as in can't change human nature. Can you? We could try. 1c, to give a different position, course, or direction to. 2a, to replace with another, as in let's change the subject. I like to change the subject sometimes, but we are not changing the subject. We are going to now talk about 2b, to make a shift from one to another. Synonym is switch, as in always changes sides in an argument. They flip-flop. 2c, to exchange for an equivalent sum of money, as in smaller denominations or in a foreign currency, as in change a $20 bill. 2d, to undergo a modification of, as in foliage changing color. We are going to have to wait many months until we get to see that. 2e, to put fresh clothes or covering on, as in change a bed. Now we have intransitive, number 1, to become different, as in her mood changes every hour. 2 is talking about the moon, to pass from one phase to another. I think it was the full moon last night as I'm recording this. Oh, by the way, I'm recording this in March. Yep. And you are listening to this at the earliest in May. Okay, so we just talked about the moon. Where do we go? Number 3, to shift one's means of conveyance. Synonym is transfer, as in on the bus trip, he had to change twice. Switch over to a different bus, maybe. Number 4 is talking about the voice. To shift to lower register. Synonym is break. Number 5, to undergo transformation, transition, or substitution, as in winter changed to spring. Well, if it changed to summer, that would be odd because it will have skipped over spring. Number 6, to put on different clothes, as in need a few minutes to change for dinner. Number 7, synonyms are exchange and switch, as in neither liked his seat, so they changed with each other. Well, that worked out very well. Changer is a noun. Change hands is a phrase which means to pass from the possession of one owner to that of another, as in money changes hands many times, and that is why it is so dirty. I think we need to do more of this trading instead of money. I have said that before, and I might say it again. This is from the Latin cambiare, which means to exchange, probably of Celtic origin, akin to the Old Irish cam, which means crooked. Okay. We have some synonym information for this first form of change. Change, alter, vary, modify, mean to make or become different. Change implies making either an essential difference, often amounting to a loss of original identity or a substitution of one thing for another, as in changed the shirt for a larger size. Alter implies a difference in some particular respect without suggesting loss of identity, as in slightly altered the original design. Vary, V-A-R-Y, stresses a breaking away from sameness, duplication, or exact repetition, as in vary your daily routine. I think that is smart to do. I have a routine, but it changes up. I vary it up a little bit. Keeps me on my toes. And modify suggests a difference that limits, restricts, or adapts to a new purpose, as in modified the building for use by the disabled. That is very good. Okay, now we have the second form of change, noun from the 13th century. 1. The act, process, or result of changing. As 1a, synonym is alteration, as in a change in the weather. 1B, synonym is transformation, as in a time of vast social change. I think we are really going through that. I mean, we're kind of constantly going through that, but I'm seeing it now. Also as in going through changes. Oh, what is that song? There is a song, changes, something changes. I have to look that up. If I think of it and I find it, I shall put in a picture. Is it change, going through them? I don't know. I'll come up with it. Okay, so as I was listening to this episode to get it ready to post, I was like, well, I need to find out what this song is. It is called Them Changes. It is by Buddy Miles, who was Jimi Hendrix's drummer. And, this was his song, Them Changes. And so I had heard this song. I think my saxophone teacher had put it on a cassette for me, just like the Monkey Chant, which you may or may not have heard that episode already. I don't remember. But Them Changes. And I started, so I was like, trying to find this, and I sort of went down a rabbit hole. Also, my first CD was by Bobby McFerrin. Also, I can't remember if this is before or after you've heard that episode, but one of his songs on his album, Simple Pleasures, was this song, Them Changes. So I had heard the song, but I didn't even know what it was. There's no lyrics. I think it's just his instrumental. So I'm going to play clips of both of those now, but then after that, like I said, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole. There are other songs with the word changes in it. So first off, we've got Black Sabbath's song, Changes, so you'll hear a clip of that. Then there's a guy, and I can't remember his name, Charles something. He did his own version of Black Sabbath's song. It's more of like a soul gospel kind of thing, and that's great, so you'll hear a short clip of that. And then, obviously, you can't talk about a song called Changes or something with that word without talking about David Bowie's Changes, so I got a little bit of that in here too. This is just a really wide range of music. We got the original song, and then a vocal instrumental a cappella, and then Black Sabbath, and then a cover of that, and then David Bowie. It's just a whole mix of songs. So, here's a short selection of 5 songs with the word changes in them.
Well, my mind is going through them changes. I feel just like committing a crime. I'm going through changes. I'm going through changes in my life. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Okay, 1C, synonym is substitution, as in a change of scenery. 1D, the passage of the moon from one monthly revolution to another. Also, the passage of the moon from one phase to another. 1E, synonym is menopause. Yeah, some people say I'm going through the change. 2, a fresh set of clothes. 3 is British, and we have the number 5A definition for the word exchange. 4A, money in small denominations receiving in exchange for an equivalent sum in larger denominations. Yeah. Can I get some change? Oh, what was that movie we just watched? I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Chris Rock plays a guy, and he's like, he wants like just a couple of ribs, one rib, and he says, "You got change for 100?" Like, you're not gonna buy ribs with $100 bill. Let's see. What are we on? 4B. Money returned when a payment exceeds the amount due. Keep the change. You should, depending on the situation, you just let them keep the change and maybe more as a tip. 4C. Coins, especially of low denominations, as in a pocket full of change. 4D. A negligible additional amount, as in only 6 minutes and change left in the game. For E, we have the number one definition for the word money, as in cost a large chunk of change. 5, an order in which a set of bells is struck in change ringing. I am not familiar with that one. And number 6, the synonym is change up. All right, now we have the word changeable, adjective from the 13th century, capable of change, as A, able or apt to vary, as in changeable weather. It is constantly changeable. Earlier today, it was extremely windy. I'm actually surprised I haven't heard the windows shaking, but maybe the weather is changing. Where are we? B, subject to change. Synonym is alterable, as in changeable plans. Oh yes, I have learned over the years to just be able to change with whatever happens. The plans are constantly changing. C, synonym is fickle, Fickle, as in a person changeable in his moods. Changeability is a noun, changeableness is a noun, and changeably is an adverb. Next is changeful, adjective from 1591, notably variable. Synonym is uncertain, as in changeful times. Changefully is an adverb, and changefulness is a noun. And our last word is kind of the opposite of what we just read. It is changeless. Change less. Adjective from 1580. Never changing. Synonym is constant, as in changeless truths. What would be changeless? Everything is really changing all the time. Change, just anything change, never changing, constant. What is constant? Gravity, I guess, is sort of constant. Yeah. And changelessly is an adverb, and changelessness is a noun. So today we had chandlery, that's where the candles are sold. Change, changeable, changeful, and changeless. I think I'm going to pick changeable as the word of the episode. This song is changeable. It's changeable. It's changeable. See, it changed. Yeah, it's just, I like it. Okay, so I gotta look at the holidays. Let's look at the week first. This week, May 2nd through 8th, is National Pet Week. So, get a pet. It's also Teacher Appreciation Week. And it is World Laughter Day. That is a very good thing to celebrate. Ha 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 ha. It's Orthodox Easter. It's World Tuna Day. It's the 20th day of Ramadan. In the UK, it is Dawn Chorus Day. It is, in Serbia, Labor Holiday Second Day. I guess yesterday was the first day. It's in Spain, Madrid Community Day. And in Spain and Romania, it is Mother's Day. And is there anything else? In Spain, anniversary of the Dos de Mayo uprising. In Bhutan, it is the birth anniversary of 3rd Druk Gyalpo. In Poland, it is Flag Day. It is Indonesia National Education Day and also Teachers Day in Iran. And let's see, what are some fun holidays for this day? May 2nd, there's just one, National Brothers and Sisters Day. They could have also just said National Siblings Day, I suspect. That would have been fine. But yeah, that's everything that we're going to say in this episode. I hope you join me for the next episode and all of the rest of the thousands of episodes that I'm going to have. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. How are you? I hope that you are doing well, and if you're not, I hope, it's only temporary. It is only temporary. I have good days and I have bad days, and, sometimes it's just a bad part of a day, and then later it's fine. Or it starts off good and then it gets bad. That's just life. You just have to roll with it and accept it, and then know that it will be better later. Okay, so our first word is changeling. Change with an L-I-N-G. There are a couple movies called The Changeling. One of them is from like the early 80s, I think, and it's a horror movie. There's a ghost, and it's a good movie. Okay, this is a noun from 1537. Number 1 is archaic. The synonym is turncoat. One word. 2, a child secretly exchanged for another in infancy. That is what the other Changeling movie is about. 3 is archaic. The synonym is imbecile. I think that's funny. It's probably, no, it's not very funny, but I just sort of love that word. Imbecile. And then changeling is also an adjective. Next is change off. 2 words. Intransitive verb from 1873. 1, to alternate with another at doing an act. 2, to alternate between 2 different acts or instruments or between an action and a rest period. Next is change of heart. 3 words from 1649. A reversal in position or attitude. You know, I've had a change of heart. I don't think I'm going to do this podcast anymore. Just kidding, I changed my heart again. Next is change of life. 3 words from 1834. Number 1 is the synonym menopause. We talked about that briefly in the last episode. Yep, it is a big change of life in people who are biologically female. Is that the way to say it? I hope it is. I don't want to be disrespectful. But then we have number 2. The synonym is andropause. And I believe that would be on the biologically male side. But I don't know. I mean, I guess, yeah, men, hormones are always changing. I don't think it's nearly as big of a difference as in women, though, right? So, yeah, your hormones are changing and your body does different things, and it happens. Okay, next is change of pace. 3 words from 1788. Number 1, the synonym is change up. 2, an interruption of continuity by a shift to a different activity. Next is changeover. 1 word, noun from 1907. 1, synonyms are conversion and transition. 2, a pause in a tennis match during which the players change sides of the court. That is the changeover time. Next is change ringing. 2 words. Oh, well, maybe this is a bit related to one of the ones we read in the last one. An order in which a set of bells is struck in change ringing. So that was what I read before. So let's read change ringing, noun from 1872. The act or practice of ringing a set of tuned bells in continually varying order. And then the example is in the bell tower of a church. Change, but why is the word change in there? I don't get it. But, bells are nice. Next is change up. Noun from 1943. A slow pitch in baseball thrown with the same motion as a fastball in order to deceive the batter. Well, if it's the same motion, how is the ball different? Why is it slower? Why is it a slow pitch and not a fastball? What are you doing with your hand? Or are you holding it in a certain way so the laces are in a different position? I don't know the baseball throws. Next we have channel. CHANNEL, first form, noun from the 14th century. 1A, the bed where a natural stream of water runs. It is a channel of water. 1B, the deeper part of a river, harbor, or strait. 1C, a straight or narrow sea between 2 close land masses. I should probably mention that the word strait here is STRAIT, and that's just a kind of water. 1D, a means of communication or expression as... Did I skip anything? No. A means of communication or expression as 1D1, a path along which information in the form of an electrical signal passes. And the examples of information are data or music. Now we have 1D2, which is plural, a fixed or official course of communication, as in went through established military channels with his grievances. 1E, a way, course, or direction of thought or action, as in new ways of exploration. We need you young people to find out new ways of exploration. 1F, a band of frequencies or sufficient width for a single radio or television communication. 1G, the synonym is channeler, channel with an ER. 2A, a usually tubular enclosed passage, synonym is conduit. 2B, a passage created in a selectively permeable cell membrane by a conformational change in membrane proteins, also the proteins of such a passage, and then compare to ion channel. 3, a long gutter, groove, or furrow. 4, a metal bar of flattened U-shaped section. Is there any etymology that we want to say? It is from the Latin canalis or canalis, which means channel, and there's more at the word canal. Next is the second form of channel. It is a verb from the 15th century, just transitive. 1A, to form, cut, or wear a channel in. You're not wearing a channel like pants and a shirt. It's wearing away. 1B, to make a groove in, as in channel a chair leg. I guess if you're making a decorative chair leg, that would be making a channel. Okay, number 2, to convey or direct into or through a channel, as in channel his energy into useful work. That's what I try to do. 3, to serve as a channeler or intermediary for. And third form of channel is a noun from 1769. One of the flat ledges of the heavy plank. Wow, that was a loud siren. One of the flat ledges of heavy plank or metal bolted edgewise to the outside of a ship to increase the spread of the shrouds. And this is an alternative of chain whale, ChainWale, which is just chain and whale. And it doesn't say anything else other than that. Next, we have channel bass, 2 words. Bass is BASS, noun from 1884, and the synonym is red drum. 2 words. Red, like the color red, and drum, like a boom boom drum. Red drum. That is shockingly similar to red rum, which is a thing from the movie The Shining, but it's not that. Next is channel catfish, 2 words, noun from 1820. I assume it is a catfish that lives in a channel. It is a large black-spotted catfish that is an important freshwater food fish of the U.S. and Canada, called also just channel cat. Sounds different, but they just don't have time to say fish. The scientific name is Ictalurus punctatus. Next is channeler, channel with an ER, noun from 1987. A person who conveys thoughts or energy from a source believed to be outside the person's body or conscious mind. Specifically, one who speaks for non-physical beings or spirits. I have heard of many examples of people doing this. Whether it's true or not, I cannot say because I do not know, but people claim to be able to do this. Next is channel hopping, 2 words with a hyphen, noun from 1979, and the synonym is channel surfing. And channel hop is an intransitive verb. What do you use? I've always used channel surf. It's not a thing I do. I do remember in high school my friend said that he got so good at channel surfing, he would just get in a rhythm and just hit that channel button, and he wasn't even paying attention to what was on the TV. He just clicked and clicked and clicked and clicked and clicked and clicked, and I don't know. That doesn't seem like a good way to spend your time. All right, now we have our last word for this episode. It is channelize. Channel with an I-Z-E. It is a verb from 1609, and it is just transitive. 1, we just have the number 1 definition for the word channel. 2, we have the number 2 definition for the word channel. Very creative. And number 3, To straighten by means of a channel, as in channel a stream. Channelization is a noun. So we had changeling, change off, change of heart, change of life, change of pace, change over, change ringing, change up, channel, channel base, channel catfish, channeler, channel hopping, and channelize. I think I want to pick change of pace, because sometimes you just need a change of pace. You need to break out of your routine. I've said this stuff before. Yeah, change of pace. How do you sing a song about the change of pace? Change of pace, change of pace. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put the word into a song and not add other words. Change of pace, change of pace. So today is May 3rd. It is St. James. What is this? St. James TL and St. Philip. It's religious. Yeah. Okay. St. James the Lesser. That's what the TL is. It is World Press Freedom Day. It is the 21st day of Ramadan. It is Constitution Day in Poland. It is May Day in Australia, UK, and Ireland. It is, in Spain, Castilla-La Mancha Day. In the UK, it is Early May Bank Holiday. In Greece, it is Easter Monday, which is also in Cyprus. In Peru, it is Jesus of Muruhuay. In Australia, it is Labor Day. It is in Bulgaria, Serbia, and Ukraine, Orthodox Easter Monday. And in Venezuela, it is Voz del Alma Llanera. Anything else today? You can hear my voice getting all messed up. It is Sunday, which is an international thing. Fun holidays. What is it? May 3rd? Melanoma Monday. Melanoma Monday. That's another one of my songs. They do that sort of thing. Melanoma Monday. Ooh, it's National Paranormal Day. That's cool. I'm going to have to tell my wife about that because she likes the paranormal stuff, and they talk about that on her podcast. So May 3rd, National Paranormal Day. Cool. All right. Well, that's all I got to say to you for this episode. Yeah, thank you. Let the people know that you're listening to this podcast and you love it so, so much. Until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. My voice is getting kind of rough, so let's just see if I can talk like this for most of it. You probably don't like this, but that's okay. Please go rate and review this podcast and let people know. Share it on your social media. What do you use? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, TikTok? That's all I really know. I'm so out of it. Yeah, and subscribe. We're now at around episode 800 plus. And pretty soon you may not have access to the old ones if you don't subscribe. So you got to subscribe. And it's free. Free. It's all free. But if you do want to give me some money, here's the thing. I do have a Patreon. You can do that. You can get episodes very early. And but when I get to a point where I'm spending this or, making money, but also spending, what am I trying to say? You just use your words clearly. I am not going to make money on this. So if you give me money, I am going to then give money to a different patron. And so you get benefits from me and I get benefits from them. And it all equals out in the end. So I'm not making no money on this. Let's do the words. End of page 206. The first word is channel surfing. 2 words, noun from 1988. The action or practice of surfing through television programs, usually by use of a remote control. Our TV remote control is not working, so we have to hit the buttons on the TV, which is very frustrating. Channel surf is an intransitive verb, and channel surfer is a noun. Channel surfer. What is that song? Wipeout. Wipeout. I am a channel surfer. All right. Moving on to chanson. 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 noun. From 1602, the synonym is song, specifically a music hall or cabaret song. This is a French word from the Latin cantion, from canere, which I think means to sing, and it is a chanson. I wonder if we got the word song from this French word. Interesting, because it's very similar to that last syllable. Next is chanson de geste. 3 words. De is the second word. Geste is Geste. This is a noun from 1833, any of several old French epic poems of the 11th to the 13th centuries. Chanson de geste. It literally means song of heroic deeds. Next is chansonnier. 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 Noun from 1872. Yeah, the wind has picked up. You can hear the window. The wind on the window. The wind on the window is making the window shake. So this is a chansonnier is a writer or singer of chansons, especially a cabaret singer. Next is chant. First form verb from the 14th century, starting with intransitive. 1. To make melodic sounds with the voice, especially to sing a chant. 2. To recite something in a monotonous, repetitive tone, as in protesters were chanting outside. Next is transitive. 1. To utter as in chanting. 2. To celebrate or praise in song or chant. This is from the Latin cantare, which is a frequency of canere, which means to sing, akin to the Old English hana, which means rooster, and the Old Irish canid, which means he sings. Second form of chant, noun from 1671. 1 is the number 1 definition for the word song. 2a, synonym is plain song, which is 1 word. 2b, a rhythmic, monotonous utterance or song. 2c, a composition for chanting. And let's see, I have something that I want to say and I want to think. Okay, so I'll say it here. There is in Bali, they have a thing called the monkey chant. When I was in high school, I had a saxophone teacher who made me a mixtape back when we had cassette tapes of different songs that he liked. And one of the things was the monkey chant. And this just blew my brain wide open. It's very cool. I think I have the tape somewhere, but I would have to digitize it, so I'm sure I can easily find an example of the monkey chant on YouTube, and I will put it in here. Oddly enough, when I met my wife, she also knew of what this monkey chant was, because most people don't know it, but there was a song from a semi-obscure band that used the monkey chant in their song, and so she was aware of that, and that was really cool. They also have the monkey chant in this movie called The Fall, which a lot of people haven't seen, but it's a pretty cool movie. And yeah, in Bali, probably other places too, they have the monkey chant, which you shall hear now. Okay, that was fun. Next we have chanter, noun from the 14th century. 1 who chants. 1a, we have the synonym chorister, chorister. 1b, the synonym is cantor. You probably say cantor, cantor. 2, the chief singer in a chantry. It's like a pantry where you sing songs. You go sing songs while you're with your boxed and canned goods. 3, the reed pipe of a bagpipe with finger holes on which the melody is played. That is the chanter. That's cool. Didn't know that. Oh, I still want to play a bagpipe. Next we have chanterelle. 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 Noun from 1775. A fragrant edible mushroom, usually having a yellow to orange color. And the scientific name is Cantharellus cibarius. It is a chanterelle. Next we have chanteuse. You could also say chanteuse, but most people say, I think, just say chanteuse. Chanteuse. We have lots of French words. Okay, this is a noun from 1844. The synonym is songstress, especially a woman who is a concert or nightclub singer. We just watched that movie, The United States versus Billie Holiday, so I think you would consider her a chanteuse. Chanteuse. This is French. It is the feminine of chanteur, which is a singer, a male singer. Chanteuse. I had no idea about Billie Holiday's life, and if you're on the older side, I recommend learning about that. Next, we have shanty or chanty. Chant with a Y or an EY or an SH at the front. Shanty, chanty. Okay, this is what is it? It's a noun from 1856. A song sung by sailors in rhythm with their work. A song sung by sailors in rhythm with their work. That's that. Next we have chanticleer or chanticleer. 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 Noun from the 14th century, and the synonym is rooster. Where did we see rooster before? Was it earlier in this episode or the last episode? I swear I saw that somewhere. Maybe not. I just can't remember. I'm looking. Okay. Rooster. There's more to say about this. It is from Middle English, chanticleer, which is a rooster in verse narratives, from Old French chanticleer, which is a rooster in the Roman de Renart. Okay, next we have Chantilly lace. Capital Chantilly, and then the second word is lace. Noun from 1848. A delicate silk, linen, or synthetic lace having a six-sided mesh ground and a floral or scroll design, called also just Chantilly. And this is from Chantilly, France. And I can't speak about Chantilly lace without singing a song that my dad used to sing to me when I was a kid, which I guess was a song from his era when he was a kid. A Chantilly lace with a pretty face, a ponytail hanging down, a wiggle when you walk and a giggle when you talk. You know you make the world go round, round, round. There ain't nothing in the world like a big-eyed girl to make me act so funny, make me spend my money, like real loose like a long-necked goose. Oh, I don't remember the rest of the words. Okay, next we have chantry. Chant with an R-Y. Chantry. It's like trees that are singing. Noun from the 14th century. 1. An endowment for the chanting of masses, commonly for the founder. 2. A chapel endowed by a chantry. This is from Anglo-French. Literally, it means singing. I am singing. I'm singing. I just love Elf. Okay, next we have Hanukkah. Capital Chanukah. This is usually the way that I spell it, but you can spell this word so many different ways. It is just a variation of, I guess, the more standard spelling, which is Hanukkah. Hanukkah. We won't be celebrating Hanukkah for another, what is math? 7 months, give or take. Next we have chaos. Chaos. Noun from the 15th century. Number 1 is obsolete. The synonyms are chasm and abyss. Chasm. Oh yeah, we're coming up to that. I don't know my alphabet. Okay, number 2, A is often capitalized. A state of things in which chance is supreme, especially the confused, unorganized state of primordial matter before the creation of distinct forms. and then compare to the word cosmos. 2b, the inherent unpredictability in the behavior of a complex natural system, as the atmosphere, boiling water, or the beating heart. 3a, a state of utter confusion, as in the blackout caused chaos throughout the city, and it then could not be predicted how people would behave. 3b, a confused mass or mixture, as in a chaos of television antennas. Chaotic is an adjective, and chaotically is an adverb. This is Latin from the Greek, and there's more at the word gum. Nature is chaos. This is all chaos. We think, because we are seeing such a small part of it, we think that it is all standard and static and not changing, but when you look at the big picture, it's constantly changing. It's constantly in chaos. Everything is just changing. So similarly, next we have chaos theory, 2 words, noun from 1984, a branch of mathematical and physical theory that deals with the nature and consequences of chaos and chaotic systems. In Jurassic Park, that guy, Jeff Goldblum, Malcolm, that was his name, right? That was the character name. He studied chaos theory. He was a mathematician, but he also studied chaos theory, so he was a chaotician. And if I can find a good short clip of him talking about that from the movie, I'll put it in here, maybe. I don't know. I do think it's a fascinating idea of studying the things that can't be studied, really, that you can't really predict. It's just kind of interesting.
I'm still not clear on chaos.
It simply deals with predictability in complex systems. The shorthand is the butterfly effect. A butterfly can flap its wings in Peking, and in Central Park you get rain instead of sunshine. Look at this. See? I'm right again. Nobody could have predicted that Dr. Grant would suddenly jump out of a moving vehicle.
Alan?
There's another example. See, here I'm now by myself, talking to myself. That's chaos theory.
All right, let's just do one more word for this episode. The very last word on page 206, it is chap. C-H-A-P. It's the first form noun from the 14th century. A crack in or a sore roughening of the skin caused by exposure to wind or cold. I get chapped lips a lot, especially in the winter when it's so dry. So we had channel surfing, chanson, chanson de geste, chansonnier, chant, chanter, chanterelle, chanteuse, chanty or shanty, chanticleer, chantilly-lace, chantry, Hanukkah, chaos theory, and chap. I am going to pick chaos as the word of the episode because I love chaos. Chaos. So today is May 4th. It is World Asthma Day. Lots of people have asthma. It is National Teacher Day. It is the 22nd day of Ramadan. In Latvia, it is a restoration of I'm assuming that's independence, but they did not spell that right. I don't know what that is. Independence of Latvia. It is Easter Tuesday, Orthodox in Cyprus. Remembrance of the Dead in Netherlands. What else? I would say nothing else, but that is not true. It is Coal Miners' Day in India. It is Dave Brubeck Day. I think he was a jazz musician. In Slovakia, it is Death of Milan Ratislav Stefanik Day. In Japan, it is Greenery Day. It is International Firefighters Day. It is, in Afghanistan, Remembrance Day for Martyrs and Disabled. It is World Give Day, so give to people. Okay. In Fiji, it is Youth Day. It's also World Naked Gardening Day, so you gotta go garden naked. I don't know if I want that. And then I think I said National Teacher Day. If I didn't, it is National Teacher Day. Go celebrate your teachers. And the most important one probably to many people is Star Wars Day because it's May 4th. May the 4th be with you always. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. This is my podcast where we say some words. They're in the book. We say the words. We start with page number 1 and we go to page number 2. And now we're on page 207. The first word in this episode is chap, second form. You know, we talked about the first form in the last episode. So this one is a verb from the 15th century. We are starting with intransitive verb. To open in cracks, slits, or chinks. Also, to become cracked, roughened, or reddened, especially by the action of wind or cold. I feel like my knuckles are constantly chapped, even in the summer. I put lotion on them all the time. We got an example. Hands often chap in winter. Yes, they do. Cracks and rough and reddened and dry and bleeding sometimes. That's very bad. So the transitive definition says to cause to chap, as in wind-chapped lips. That's another thing. This is from the Middle Dutch kappen, which means to cut down. I'm gonna cut your fingers down with my wind. Okay, now we have the third form of chap. It's a noun from 1555. You could say also chop, I guess. Chop or chap. Number 1, the fleshy covering of a jaw. Also just the synonym, jaw. And this is usually used in plural, as in a wolf's chaps, or a wolf's, chops. Yeah, see, this is where I would say chop. But I thought that would maybe be C-H-O-P. This one is spelled C-H-A-P. Let's look at number 2, the forepart of the face. Again, usually used in plural, chops. The origin of this is unknown. Now we have the fourth form of chap. And this one's chap. Noun from 1705. Number 1 is chiefly British, and we have the number 4C definition for the word fellow. Hello, chap. What's up, fellow? Number 2 is Southern and Midland, and the synonyms are baby and child. I am much more used to the fellow definition for this word chap, so I think it's very silly to call a baby or a child chap. This is short for chapman, chapman. Hey, guess what? There's a fifth form of chap, but this one's an abbreviation for the word chapter. Next is chapareos or chaparajos. Yes, Chaparajos. It is a noun from 1887, and the synonym is chaps. Chaps with an S, we shall see, I think, in the next episode. So this is modified of the Mexican Spanish chaparreras. Reras. So there's a double R, which I think you rolled the R for that, and then there's a single R. So chaparreras. I can't. My mouth doesn't do it, but I think I got it close enough. Chaparreras. Next we have chaparral or chaparral. Noun from 1845. 1. A thicket of dwarf evergreen oaks. And then broadly, a dense, impenetrable thicket of shrubs or dwarf trees. Number 2. An ecological community composed of shrubby plants adapted to dry summers and moist winters that occurs especially in Southern California. Chaparral. So maybe there's a bunch of this whole thing in Southern California. This is from Spanish, chaparro, which means dwarf evergreen oak. And then it's also from the Basque word, how do you say this one? T-X-A-P-A-R. Chapar? Yeah, probably chapar. Look at that. All right, next we have chaparral cock. 2 words, noun from 1853. The synonym is just roadrunner. Yes, lots of birds are called cocks. This is also called chaparral bird. So roadrunner, chaparral bird, chaparral cock, all the same thing. Meep, meep. Next, we have chapati. Chapati, or you can spell it with two P's. This is a noun from 1810, a round, flat, unleavened bread of India that is usually made of whole wheat flour and cooked on a griddle. Chapati. And this is from the Hindi word kapati and the Urdu word chapati. So that's that. Next we have chapbook. One word. Noun from 1798. A small book containing ballads, poems, tales, or tracts. Tracts is Tracts. And it's just from Chapman plus book. Chapman book. Let's see. Chapman, I assume, yes, we will see that in the next episode as well. If you are such a fine fellow, you are a wonderful chap. You have a book containing ballads, poems, tales, and tracts that maybe you wrote. Okay, next we have chape, or you could also just pronounce it chap, but there's an E at the end, so I shall say chape. Noun from the 14th century, the metal mounting or trimming of a scabbard or sheath. That's like what the sword goes into. Yeah, it's from the Middle English scabbard, from the Latin capa, it's a chape. Next we have chapeau. Chapeau. It's French chapeau. Noun from 1523, and we have the synonym hat. It is a hat. This is from the Old French chapelle, and there's more at the word chaplet. Maybe that's a hat too. I don't know. We'll also find that in the next episode. So many things. You can wait until tomorrow. Or if you're listening to this in the future, past May 6th, you can listen to these together. Okay, next is chapel, noun from the 13th century. Number 1, a subordinate or private place of worship. As 1A, a place of worship serving a residence or institution. 1B, a small house of worship usually associated with a main church. 1C, a room or recess in a church for meditation and prayer or small religious services. 2, a place of worship used by a Christian group other than an established church, as in a nonconformist chapel. Number 3, a choir of singers belonging to a chapel. 4, a chapel service or assembly at a school or college. 5, an association of the employees in a printing office. Why do they call that a chapel? 6A, synonym is funeral home. And 6B, a room for funeral services in a funeral home. Because the room is used for things that are very similar to what they use a chapel for in a church. So they just call it a chapel. And, they're in hospitals too, right? There's a chapel there. If people want to go think or pray or have private conversations that are then put into a TV show, because that's where I feel like in TV shows there's always a chapel in a hospital, and then there's private things happening. Movies too. Okay, this is from Middle Latin capella, which is a diminutive of the Lower Latin capa, which means cloak, which is from the cloak of Saint Martin of Tours, which was preserved as a sacred relic in a chapel built for that purpose. So it came from a cloak. I bet you didn't know that. Next we have chapel of ease. 3 words. Yeah, ease is like, oh, it's so easy. This is from 1538. It is a chapel or dependent church built to accommodate an expanding parish. And our last word is chaperone. Chaperone, or you could take off the last E. This is the first form. The second form will be in the next episode. So this first one is a noun from 1720. 1, a person, as a matron, who for propriety accompanies what? A person who for propriety accompanies one or more young unmarried women in public or in mixed company. 2, an older person who accompanies young people at a social gathering to ensure proper behavior. But what is proper? And then broadly, 1, delegated to ensure proper behavior. Yeah, okay. 3, any of a class of proteins that facilitate the proper folding of proteins by binding to and stabilizing unfolded or partially folded proteins, called also molecular chaperone. That's kind of what the human chaperones are doing. They facilitate the proper folding of the younger people to ensure proper folding behavior. This is French, chaperon, which literally means hood, like a hood that you put on your head, which is from the Middle French, which means head covering from chape. So, and that was the cloak. So, yeah, maybe they wore a hood or a cloak to make them more invisible. That seems kind of creepy, actually, now that I think about that. Okay, so today we had chaparajos, chaparajos. Those are chaps. We have chaparral cock. That's the bird that probably lives in or near these dwarf evergreen oaks. Maybe, possibly. We have chapati, chapbook, shape. I'm rereading these definitions quickly as I'm going through these. That's the one for the scabbard or the sheath. We have chapeau. That is a hat. Chapel. Oh, I think I gotta sneeze. Why can't the sneezes wait until I'm not recording? Chapel of ease and chaperone. This is a little bit difficult, but I think maybe just for fun I shall pick chapeau as the word of the episode because it's a hat, and maybe I'll post a picture of this chapeau. Speaking of posting pictures, if you would like to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it is just at dictionarypod. You can see the silly pictures that I post with sometimes silly captions. And there's a whole wide variety of things because I'm posting visual things from this book when I am so inspired. Okay. I think those are all the words. Let us read some holidays today. Ooh, it is Cinco de Mayo. So go celebrate Cinco de Mayo. What day of the week is this? Is it it's a Wednesday. So, you can't really do much. It is the 23rd day of Ramadan. It is Liberation Day in Denmark and the Netherlands. In Belgium, it is Day of the Council of Europe. In Mexico, it is Battle of Puebla. It is also Constitution Day in Kyrgyzstan. It is Europe Day, which is the Council of Europe. In Palestine, it is the Feast of Al-Qadr or St. George. I guess those are two separate holidays. In Guyana, it is Indian Arrival Day. Internationally, it is International Midwives Day. They sure could use some more respect. It is also World Portuguese Language Day. In Albania, it is Martyrs Day. In Ethiopia, it is Patriots Victory Day. In Palau, it is Senior Citizens Day. In Japan, it is Tango no Seku, and I don't know what that is. And then, our fun holiday, in addition to Cinco de Mayo, it is National Hoagie Day. Those are all the words. Those are all the things I got to say. I guess I should technically sing a song about a chapeau. Oh, chapeau, how I love the chapeau that I put on my head to cover my bald spot. Luckily, I don't have a bald spot. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. This is my podcast. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess we'll just start the episode. We don't need to sing a song right away. Okay, the first word is chaperone. Again, this is the second form. It is a verb from 1796. It is, we're going to start with transitive, and then we're going to go to intransitive, and then after that, we're going to read another word. That is how this is going to go. Okay, it's from 1796. I think I said that. Number 1, the synonym is escort. Number 2, to act as chaperone to or for, as in chaperone a dance. Also as in chaperoning teenagers. I think that means that there is somebody who is chaperoning the teenagers. They are watching them to make sure that there's proper behavior happening. But chaperoning teenagers could also mean that there are teenagers chaperoning, but who would they be chaperoning? Other teenagers? Would they be chaperoning younger kids to make sure that they have proper behavior? Anyway, I think you understand chaperone. Now we have intransitive, and it means to act as a chaperone. And chaperonage is a funny word, chaperonage. That's a noun. Yeah. I've gone on a couple school trips. You know, we go to Washington, D.C. or other places, and there's always chaperones that have to go on the trips. You know, there's the teachers who are part of the thing, but then there's maybe a couple, depending on how many kids there are, there's always a couple other adults that have to go, and they probably have a pretty good time. I don't know what they got down to, but yeah. You know, you watch the kids, but, you know, sometimes you get to hang out too, right? I would think, probably. Okay, we're going to move on to chapfallen. One word. Let's see, you can spell it with an A, chapfallen, or it could be chopfallen with an O. It's an adjective from 1598. 1. Having the lower jaw hanging loosely. So that's a throwback to, in our last episode, it was with the mouth, the jaw, it's called the chops, or the chop. So chopfallen, your jaw is hanging loosely. My mouth is agape. Number 2, cast down in spirit, and a synonym is depressed. I'm feeling so chopfallen. Next we have chapiter. It looks like chapter, like the chapter of a book, but there's an I in there, so it's chapiter. Noun from the 15th century, the capital of a column. I would assume that means the top, right? The capital of a column would be the top. Let's look at the etymology. It is from Middle English, chapitre. I don't know how to pronounce that. Modified from Anglo-French chapitral, probably a blend of capital, which is capital, and chapitre, chapitre, don't know how to say it, which means chapter. So capital and chapter combine to make chapiter. Clever people from the 15th century. Next we have chaplain. Noun from the 14th century. It is spelled chap plus Lain. So I'm guessing it's French. Number 1, a clergyman in charge of a chapel. That's where the chap comes from. 2, a clergyman officially attached to a branch of the military, to an institution, or to a family or court. 3, a person chosen to conduct religious exercises, as at a meeting of a club or society. What kinds of exercises are they doing? Are they doing lunges, bicep curls, push-ups? What are they doing? Number 4, a clergyman appointed to assist a bishop, as at a liturgical function. And chaplaincy is a noun. So this is from Middle English, chapelain, from Middle Latin capellanus, which is from capella. They do have Anglo-French in there too, but it looks more like a French word to me than anything else. Next we have chaplet, chaplet, noun from the 14th century. 1, a wreath to be worn on the head. And we have a picture of this number 1 definition. There is a drawing of a person's face, and then on top of that, they've got this wreath. It's got some leaves, and they're around the head, so they're wearing a chaplet. And I assume that is related to chapeau in the last episode, which is a hat. Okay, number 2A for chaplet, a string of beads. 2B, a part of a rosary comprising 5 decades. Well, I don't know nothing about rosaries, not much at least, so I don't get that. Number 3, a small molding carved with small decorative forms. A small molding carved with small decorative forms. And chapleted is an adjective. Let's see. This is, yes, from Anglo-French diminutive of chapelle, which means hat, or garland. From Middle Latin capellus, which means head covering, and that's good. Next we have chapman. Chapman. noun from before the 12th century. 1 is archaic. The synonyms are merchant and trader. And number 2 is British. Synonym is peddler. And, they probably have this chap book because that's from Chapman and Book. Okay, next is Chappie. I think there was that movie called Chappie, but I never saw it. I don't think people really liked it, but it looked kind of interesting to me, at least to see what they did with the effects. Okay, Chappie, noun from 1821. It is British, and we have the number 4C definition for the word fellow, which I think we have the same one for the word chap. Didn't we? Yep, fellow, 4C. So chap, chappie. It's all good. Next is chaps or shaps. You could pronounce the beginning with a CH or an SH. It's a noun from 1844. Chaps, I shall say. Leather leggings joined by a belt or lacing, often having flared outer flaps and worn over the trousers, as by Western ranch hands. So where's this from? It is modified of the Mexican Spanish chaparreras. I had that word before, chaparreras. So they just shortened it down to chaps, although it is similar to the word flaps, and they're kind of like that, so that's where I'm going to say they're from. The chaps are from the flaps. Oh, that could be a song. The chaps have flaps, and it's from chaparreras. That didn't work so well. All right, next is chapter. Noun from the 13th century. 1A, a main division of a book. 1B, something resembling a chapter in being a significant specified unit, as in a new chapter in my life. I think we're always in new chapters. Life is constantly changing. Sometimes it's easy to figure out where the chapter ends and the next one starts, but it's not always that easy. 2A, a regular meeting of the canons of a cathedral or collegiate church or of the members of a religious house. 2B, the body of canons of a cathedral or collegiate church. 3, a local branch of an organization. What chapter of the Night Watcher Man are you? I don't know what that was about. Okay, what's the etymology for chapter? From Middle English, chapitre. From Anglo-French, chapitre or chapitel. I don't know how to say these words because I don't speak French. From the Latin capitulum, which is a division of a book, and Middle Latin, which is a meeting place of canons. From Latin diminutive of capit or caput, which means head, and there's more at the word head. Next we have chapter and verse. 3 words, noun from 1628. 1, the exact reference or source of information or justification for an assertion, as in, clinched their arguments by citing chapter and verse. That's a quote from J.M. Burns. Number 2, full, precise information or detail, as in, can give chapter and verse on the effects of diverting defense spending. That's a quote from Horace Sutton. And chapter and verse is also an adverb. Next we have chapter 11. So chapter has a capital C, and 11 is just the number 11. It's not spelled out. This is a noun from 1970. Bankruptcy, as provided under Chapter 11 of the Bankruptcy Code, which governs corporate reorganization, as in, filed for Chapter 11. So if you ever hear somebody saying that they filed for Chapter 11, that means they're saying, I got no money, so help me out. Help me. I don't know. There's a help me round a joke in there. Okay, next is our last word for this episode. It will also be the first word of the next episode. It is char, C-H-A-R. We have 3 forms here in this episode. So you could also spell this first form with a second R, char. It is a noun from 1662, any of a genus of small-scaled trouts with light-colored spots. The origin is unknown. Next is the second form of char. It is a verb from 1679. Let's see, starting with transitive. 1. To convert to charcoal or carbon, usually by heat. And the synonym is burn. 2. To burn slightly or partly. Synonym is scorch, as in the fire charred the beams. And the intransitive says to become charred. And supposedly this is from the word charcoal, because that's what it is from. Okay, third form of char, last one for this episode. It's a noun from 1879, a charred substance. Synonym is charcoal, specifically a combustible residue remaining after the destructive distillation of coal. So today in this episode we had chaperone, chopfallen, chapiter, chaplain, chaplet, chapman or chapman, chappie, chaps, chapter, chapter and verse, chapter 11, and char. Which one jumped out at me as my favorite one for this episode? I think I shall pick chopfallen, but it's spelled chapfallen because it's having the lower jaw hanging loosely. I am so shocked. I am shocked by that I am chopfallen. Chopfallen. When I see something crazy, my jaw goes to the floor, and then I can say I'm chopfallen down the stairs. Okay, so the holidays for today, it's May 6th. Hey, it's National Nurses Day. Happy Nurses Day to all you nurses. You don't get enough respect or enough pay, so maybe we can change that. It's also National Day of Prayer. It's the 24th day of Ramadan. In Nigeria, it is National Day of Prayer, so that's it there, and also here in the U.S., maybe other places too. In Bulgaria, it is St. George's Day. It is, what else? International No Diet Day. So if you're on a diet, you can't diet today. You got to eat all the crap, and lots of it. In Gabon and Lebanon and Syria, it is Martyrs' Day. You're welcome. In Jamaica, it is Teachers' Day. And in Turkey, it is the first day of Hidireles. I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly, but I think I got it close, maybe. So our fun holidays, in addition to International No Diet Day, it's National Beverage Day. So you can have a beverage, but it has to be an unhealthy beverage. National Day of Prayer, National Nurses Day, and National Tourist Appreciation Day. There's not a lot of tourists going around the world these days because we're all still semi-stuck at home. I got my first vaccine because I'm media, so that's great. People, they're getting their vaccines. It's happening. By the time this airs, I will be fully vaccinated, and there will be many, 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 many more people in America and all over the world who will be at least half vaccinated, if not more. So soon, we can all get together and have a big, big hug. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the book with the words. All right, you're not here for that. You're here for this. The first word is the word char. First form. This one is an intransitive verb from 1732. To work as a cleaning woman. Why is that called that? It's from the word charwoman, which I guess we're going to see that in a number of episodes. Let's see. I skipped ahead. Charwoman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like 6-ish episodes from now. All right, well, maybe we'll learn more of why to work as a cleaning woman is called char. Okay, so fifth form of char is a noun from 1906. It is British, and the synonym is charwoman again, so we'll get into that later. You have to wait a week. Next is Charbon. Yeah, something like that. Charbon. Charabanc. Noun from 1914. It's British, and it means a sight-seen motor coach. It's a charbon. It's French. Charbon, literally a wagon with benches. Hey, let's put these benches on a wagon and make it go, and we shall call it a charbon, because that's what it is. Next, we have kerosene. Kerosene. This is a noun from 1882. Any of a family of usually small, brightly colored tropical freshwater fishes that includes many aquarium fishes. And kerosene is also an adjective. It's kind of fish from the Greek charak or charax, which is a pointed stake. stake, steak. That's a fish. And then it became kerosene. Next is character, and this is going to take up much of this episode because there's many, many definitions, and then we'll have a few more words after that. But this is the first form of character. Character, noun from the 14th century. 1a, a conventionalized graphic device placed on an object as an indication of ownership, origin, or relationship. 1b, a graphic symbol as a hieroglyph or alphabet letter used in writing or printing. So all these letters, they're called characters. 1c, a magical or astrological emblem. 1d, the synonym is alphabet. 1e1, synonyms are writing and printing. 1e2, style of writing or printing. 1e3, synonym is cipher, spelled cipher. 1f, a symbol, as a letter or number, that represents information, also a representation of such a character that may be accepted by a computer. 2a, one of the attributes or features that make up and distinguish an individual. You have lots of character traits. Are we going to see character trait? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Let's see, where were we? 2b1. Did I say this? A feature used to separate distinguishable things into categories. Also, a group or kind so separated, as in advertising of a very primitive character. 2b2. The detectable expression of the action of a gene or group of genes. And gene is spelled, of course, Gene. 2b3. The aggregate or the aggregate of distinctive qualities characteristic of a breed, strain, or type, as in a wine of great character. 2c. The complex of mental and ethical traits marking and serving to distinguish, as in excess sewage gradually changed the character of the lake. Excess sewage gradually changed the character of the lake. Yeah, it turned it into poop. Number 3, synonyms are position and capacity, as in his character as a town official. 4, the synonym is the 4b definition for the word reference. 5, synonym is reputation, as in the scandal has damaged his character and image. 6, moral excellence and firmness, as in a man of sound character. Moral excellence and firmness. I would think that I would have somewhat sound character. I feel like I'm pretty moral. I'm very firm. I don't know what that means. Number 7a, a person marked by notable or conspicuous traits, as in quite a character. 7b, one of the persons of a drama or novel. They're filled with lots of characters. Let's see, 7c, the personality or part which an actor recreates, as in an actress who can create a character, convincingly. An actress who can create a character convincingly. 7D, characterization, especially in drama or fiction. 7E, synonyms are person and individual, as in a suspicious character. 8, I think this is the last one, but we do have a couple phrases. 8, a short literary sketch of the qualities of a social type. Synonyms, see the words disposition, quality, and type. Characterless is an adjective. The phrase in character means in accord with a person's usual qualities or traits, as in behaving in character. And then the phrase out of character means not in accord with a person's usual qualities or traits, as in his rudeness was completely out of character. Reading this book is in character for me. So what's the etymology say? It is from the Middle English character, from the Latin character, mark. Oh, that means mark, character, character. That means mark or distinctive quality. From the Greek character, from karasine, which means to scratch or engrave, perhaps akin to the Lithuanian zerti, which means to scratch. How that is related to characters of various kinds, I don't know. Okay, second form of character is a transitive verb from 1591. Number 1 is archaic. Synonyms are engrave and inscribe. 2A is archaic. Synonyms are represent and portray. And 2B, the synonym is characterize. Third form of character, adjective from 1883. 1. Capable of portraying an unusual or eccentric personality, often markedly different from the player, as in a character actor. I would like to do some of that, please and thank you. 2. Requiring the qualities of a character actor, as in a character role. And then finally, we have character assassination. 2 words, noun from 1944. The slandering of a person, usually with the intention of destroying public confidence in that person. You are assassinating their character. Please don't do this to people. So in this episode, we had char, charabon, kerosene, character, and character assassination. Let's pick charabon, CHARABANC, as the word of the episode, because it's a way to get around. It's a nice sightseeing motor coach wagon with benches. Charabon, 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 charabon. Let's go riding in a charabon with no horses, because that is not nice to the horses. All right, so today is May 7th. It is Military Spouse Appreciation Day in the U.S. It's the 25th day of Ramadan. In India, it is Jamaat-ul-Vida. In Russia, it is Radio Day. In Argentina, it is Mining National Day. It is also, in Kazakhstan, Defender of the Fatherland Day. In Vietnam, Dien Bien Phu Victory Day. In the U.S., it is Be Best Day. Yes, this is the public awareness campaign promoted by Melania Trump, who thought that she should call it Be Best. But it does focus on well-being for youth and advocating against cyberbullying and drug use, particularly opioids. So that's good. I approve of that. Be best. And our fun holidays, we've got a few of them. It's National Provider Appreciation Day. So is that providing? I don't know. National Space Day. National Tourism Day. World Password Day. Change all your passwords today. And also a very fun holiday, National No Pants Day. I think a lot of us already are not wearing pants because of the pandemic. So nothing has changed today. But, a lot of people, especially in big cities, I think they go out, if they're going out on the train, if they're going out at all, they're not wearing pants. And it's okay, because it's National No Pants Day. I have never done that, and I probably will never participate in that. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. I hope you are enjoying this podcast. It's called The Dictionary, and I read all the words in the dictionary, and you are here to enjoy it and love it and give me validation that what I'm doing, I should keep on doing. So the first word is characterful. Characterful. It's a kind of weird word to say, but it is one word, characterful. It's an adjective from 1901. One, markedly expressive of character, as in a characterful face. Characterful face, yes. Number two, marked by character, as in a characterful decision. Who talks like this? Nobody says this word. Next is characterization and characterize, both with S's instead of Z's, because these are the British variations of characterization and characterize with Z's. Next is characteristic, first form, noun from 1664. 1. A distinguishing trait, quality, or property. 2. The integral part of a common logarithm. We're going to see more of that stuff soon. Number 3, the smallest positive integer, n, which for an operation in a ring or yield. What is happening? The small positive integer, n, which for an operation in a ring or field yields 0 when any element is used n times with the operation. Aha. Now we have the second form of characteristic, adjective from 1665, revealing, distinguishing, or typical of an individual character. Characteristically is an adverb, and we have some synonym information for characteristic. Characteristic, individual, peculiar, and distinctive mean indicating a special quality or identity. Characteristic applies to something that distinguishes or identifies a person or thing or class. That's the end of that sentence, as in, responded with her characteristic wit. Individual stresses qualities that distinguish one from all other members of the same kind or class, as in a highly individual writing style. I have one, but it's not the way I write, it's my handwriting is individual. Peculiar applies to qualities possessed only by a particular individual or class or kind and stresses rarity or uniqueness, as in an eccentricity that is peculiar to the British. Well, what would that be? If you're British, let me know what eccentricity is peculiar to you people. Distinctive indicates qualities distinguishing and uncommon and often superior or praiseworthy, as in a distinctive aura of grace and elegance. Let's see, no etymology for that. Moving on to characteristic equation, 2 words, noun from circa 1925, an equation in which the characteristic polynomial of a matrix is set equal to 0. But what is a characteristic polynomial, you shall be asking right now? Very good. Characteristic polynomial is 2 words, noun from circa 1957, the determinant of a square matrix in which an arbitrary variable, as x, is subtracted from each of the elements along the principal diagonal. I hope that these very mathy things make you so curious about it that you want to go study math so you can understand what I'm saying. By the way, characteristic polynomial was coined in 1957, but characteristic equation was coined in 1925, 32 years earlier, but characteristic polynomial is in the definition of characteristic equation, so it had to have existed, right? I don't know. Okay, next is characteristic root, 2 words, noun from circa 1957, and the synonym is eigenvalue, EIGENVALUE, all one word. I'm going to say it's pronounced eigenvalue. And then our next word, characteristic value, noun from 1942, Same synonym, eigenvalue. Eigenvalue, characteristic root, characteristic value, it's all the same thing. And then, similarly, we have characteristic vector, 2 words, noun from 1957. Synonym is not eigenvalue, it's eigenvector. Eigenvector. Okay, moving on to characterization with a Z, noun from 1814. The act of characterizing, especially the artistic representation of human character or motives. I had to skip the parentheses, so let's read that all together. The artistic representation of human character or motives. And then the part in parentheses says, as in fiction or drama. Next is characterize, verb from 1633. It is only transitive. 1. To describe the character or quality of, as in, characterizes him as ambitious. Number 2. To be a characteristic of. Synonym is distinguish, as in, an era characterized by greed. We are definitely in an era characterized by greed and have been for a long time, and let's move on to a different era that is characterized by love and compassion and empathy and kindness and all those good things, and not so much greed. Next we have characterological. 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 What is characterological? It's a really long word with a lot of syllables. Adjective from 1916 of relating to or based on character or the study of character, including its development and its differences in different individuals. It sounds interesting. I didn't fully understand that, but it does sound interesting. Of relating to or based on character or the study of character, including its development and its differences in different individuals. I think actors use this a lot. Characterologically is an adverb. Let's see, this is from characterology. Characterology. It's an ology about characters. That is the study of character. So yes, studying people and humans and why they do the things that they do is a characterology, and then you can be all characterological on that stuff. Okay, why isn't characterology in here? I guess it's just the study of character, so they combined it into this one thing here. Moving on to character witness, 2 words, noun from 1952. A person who gives evidence in a legal action concerning the reputation, conduct, and moral nature of a party. Next is charactery. Charactery, or you could say charactery, I guess if you want. Charactery, noun from 1598. A system of written letters or symbols used in the expression of thought. So everything that you write is a charactery, I guess. And our last word is charade, although some people like to say charade, but I shall say charade, charade, noun from 1776. 1. A word represented in riddling verse or by picture, tableau, or dramatic action. Number 2 is plural, charades or charades. A game in which some of the players try to guess a word or phrase from the action of another, and I have to flip the page, or another player who may not speak. Number 3, an empty or deceptive act or pretense, as in, his concern was a charade. Okay, so I think I have to read the words first. Characterful, characterization, characterize, characteristic, characteristic, characteristic equation, characteristic polynomial, characteristic root, characteristic value, characteristic vector, characterization, characterize, characterological, character witness, charactery, or charactery, and charade. Let's see. Well, I think, well, let's see. I don't know what to pick. I'm going to pick either charade or characterological. I'll just say with charade, I think I've mentioned this before. My family plays running charades when we get together, usually for like a Christmas weekend, and that's a lot of fun. It's two teams, and they're playing against each other, and they can't see each other. They're in separate rooms, and they have to run. It's, whichever team gets through the clues first. That's a lot of fun. Recently, my wife and I went to a cafe, a coffee place down the street, and I went in to get the drinks, and while I was waiting for the drinks, she was waiting outside because the weather was nice, and she started doing charades to me just to be silly, and I thought it was so hilarious because I was inside and she was outside, and I couldn't yell out the things to her like, oh, it's this many words. So I had to be silent. Otherwise, I would have had to charade back to her what I was saying, and it was just a very, very funny moment in my brain. I don't think it was quite as funny to her, but she had fun trying to act out the thing. Oh, yeah. So then we had to discuss it afterwards. Okay, but I'm going to pick characterological as the word of the episode because I just love the idea of studying people and characters, and if I had gotten into acting, I would have done this, and I find it so fascinating, but I actually do really want to get into acting if that is at all possible in my future, and so I can actually get to do this. And I like interviewing people and talking to people, and you get to learn a bit who they are. But digging more into that, I think would be a lot of fun. Maybe I'll hate it. I don't know. Characterological. I don't know. I already sang a song, and it worked out pretty well with the rhyming, so I'm not gonna try that again. Okay, so the holidays here in the U.S. This one holiday starts. It's a time of remembrance and reconciliation for those who lost their lives during the Second World War. That is a very long holiday title. It is the 26th day of Ramadan. Let's see. It is Victory in Europe Day. It is, we got lots of World War II celebrating around the world. It is Independence Day 1945. I'm sure that's related to. That's in Norway and Sweden. In Belgium, it is Iris Day. Maybe that's the flowers. It is International Red Cross Day. More World War II stuff. Emancipation Day in Columbus, Mississippi. In Helston, that's in the UK, it's the furry dance. All right, we got to click on this link. The furry dance? Or is it Fari? It's in Helston, Cornwall, UK. One of the oldest British customs still practiced today. What is it? It's also called Flora Day. I don't know. I'd have to read this whole thing, and I'm not going to do that, but it's furry dance. In Czech Republic, it is Liberation Day. In Mexico, it is Miguel Hidalgo's birthday. In South Korea, it is Parents' Day. In Missouri, it is Truman Day. In Norway, it is Veterans Day. It is Victory in Europe Day. I think I said that before. Lots of places. In Theosophy, that's not a place. It's White Lotus Day. It is also some fun things. It's National Coconut Cream Pie Day. It's National Have a Coke Day. Okay, have a Coke, I guess. It's also World Migratory Bird Day, so all the migratory birds are flying today. That's all I got to say in this episode for you to listen with your ears. Join me tomorrow when we will start at the top of page 208 and say some more words. And then you can join me again and again and again every single day, because that's when I post episodes. For many more thousands of episodes. I think I figured out it's like almost 6,000 episodes that it's going to end up being. Please rate and review this, share it, subscribe, follow me on the social media, leave me an email, a voicemail, all those things. You can do that. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Today is March 9th, and that is a day in the calendar. We'll talk about holidays today at the end of the episode, if you so care to listen to that. Yeah, okay. The first word at the top of page 208 is charas, Charas, noun from 1845. The synonym is just hashish. This is from the Hindi word karas and the Urdu word charas. I think didn't we have a very similar etymology in the last couple episodes? I don't know. But yeah, it was from a Hindi and Urdu word that was basically the exact same thing. Hashish is cannabis related, I believe. Okay, next we have charbroil, one word. Let's see, I think it's just transitive verb from 1968. To broil on a rack over hot charcoal, as in char-broiled steak. And a charbroiler is a noun. That could be the person who is doing the cooking. That could be the thing that it's in. You know, the rack could be the charbroiler. Maybe it's inside a thing that could be a charbroiler. Moving on to charcoal. First form, noun from the 14th century. 1. A dark or black porous carbon prepared from vegetable or animal substances, as from wood by charring in a kiln, from which air is excluded. So that's how they make it. Charring in a kiln, they take out all the air, make charcoal. 2A, a piece or pencil of fine charcoal used in drawing. 2B, a charcoal drawing. 3, a dark gray. Next is the second form of charcoal. It is a transitive verb from 1965, and the synonym is just charbroil. So some people like to say, I'm charcoaling this food. Next is charcuterie. This is kind of, it's a French word. It doesn't necessarily look like it's pronounced. Charcuterie, charcuterie. Noun from circa 1858. A delicatessen specializing in dressed meats and meats. What happened? Dressed meats and meat dishes. Also, the products sold in such a shop. So the shop is called the charcuterie, but it is also just a platter of meats and cheeses and sometimes veggies, depending on who's making it. This is a French word, and it literally means pork butcher's shop. From the Middle French, charcuterie, from charcutière, which is pork butcher, from chair and cuit, which means cooked meat. That is that. Okay, next we have charred. First form noun from 1658. The synonym is just Swiss chard. It's just charred, Swiss chard. Noun, I said that. This is modified of French card, from Occitan cardo, from Vulgar Latin carda, which is an alternative of the Latin carduus, which means thistle or cardoon. Isn't this stuff like kale? I think there was a Parks and Rec episode where they were trying to sell chard, and it was very goofy. I could be remembering that wrong, but I think I've got that close enough. Okay, second form of chard. This one actually would be pronounced shard, even though it's spelled with a CH. Noun from 1987, and the synonym is just Chardonnay. So some people don't have time to say Chardonnay, so they just say shard. And wouldn't you know it, our next word is Chardonnay, noun from circa 1911, a dry white table wine typically made from a single white grape variety, originally grown in France. And also just the grape is called Chardonnay, and it's a French word. Next we have share, C-H-A-R-E, or you don't need the E. I think it's saying share is how you pronounce it. Noun from before the 12th century. The synonym is just chore, like the things that your parents make you do. This is Middle English, the word char or share, I guess, spelled without the E, which means turn or piece of work. So yes, it is your turn to do that piece of work on the chore wheel, but we shall call it share. Let's see, also Old English, kier, akin to the Old English kieran, which means to turn. All right, and we are now halfway through this section, but it's our last word, which is charge. First form, it's pretty long. The second form is also pretty long, but that'll be in the next episode. This is a noun from the 13th century. Number 1A is obsolete, a material, load, or weight. 1B, a figure borne on a heraldic field. 2A, the quantity that an apparatus is intended to receive and fitted to hold. 2B, the quantity of explosive used in a single discharge. 2C, a store or accumulation of impelling force, as in the deeply emotional charge of the drama. 2D, a definite quantity of electricity, especially an excess or deficiency of electrons in a body. Maybe when it's dry and you rub your feet with socks on the floor, on the carpet, on a rug, and you get that electric charge, and then you touch a doorknob or you touch a person's face, and then all that electric discharge goes into that, and it hurts. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, 2E, the synonyms are thrill and kick, as in got a charge out of the game. It was so thrilling. 3A, synonyms are obligation and requirement. 3B, synonyms are management and supervision, as in has charge of the home office. They're running the show. 3C, the ecclesiastical jurisdiction committed to a clergyman. And the example of this jurisdiction is a parish. The ecclesiastical jurisdiction as a parish committed to a clergyman. 3D, a person or thing committed to the care of another. 4A, synonyms are instruction and command. 4B, instruction in points of law given by a court to a jury. 5A, synonyms are expense and cost, as in gave the banquet at his own charge. He paid for it. The whole banquet he paid for. 5B, the price demanded for something, as in no admission charge. I love it when things are free like that. Where are we? 5C, a debit to an account, as in the purchase was a charge. Okay, that's sort of a weird example. To me, 5D, the record of a loan, as of a book from a library. 5E is British, an interest in property granted as security for a loan. 6A, a formal assertion of illegality, as in a charge of murder. You have been charged with second-degree murder. Oh boy, right now as I'm recording this, the Chauvin case trial is going on, and it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. Yeah. Okay, we don't need to get into that. This is the dictionary. 6B, a statement of complaint or hostile criticism, as in denied the charges of nepotism that were leveled against him. 7A, 1, a violent rush. A violent rush forward as to attack. That's in parentheses, as to attack. And then we have an example, the charge of the brigade. Why is it so hard to say brigade? Should we try that one again? Okay, 7A1, a violent rush forward as to attack, as in the charge of the brigade. 7A2, the signal for attack, as in sound the charge. I think my mouth is not working. It's getting worse and worse. But we're going to charge forward. Haha. 7B, the usually illegal rush into an opponent in various sports, as basketball. We have a phrase, in charge, and that means having control or custody of something, as in, he is in charge of the training program. That's a lot of responsibility. So today we had charas, charbroil, charcoal, charcuterie, chard, shard, chardonnay, share, and charge. Oh, let's pick share, C-H-A-R-E, as the word of the episode because it's chore, and I have to go do some chores. I was going to go start the laundry before, but somebody else was using the machine, so I got to wait. So I said, hey, I'll go record the dictionary, because that's what people do. What are your shares? My shares. Okay, we have to turn this into a song. In the morning, I do my shares. I do the dishes and I feed the cats, and I sometimes do the litter. I sweep up and clean the cat's litter because they don't know how to clean it themselves. I also do the laundry and other things. That was not a song at all. Okay, so what are the holidays? Oh, I forgot. I forgot 3 days ago on May 6th. I forgot to mention that it is, in addition to, I think, National Nurses Day, it was National Nurses Week. So that is May 6th to the 12th. And also starting today, May 9th, it is National Women's Health Week. So, women's, go be healthy, pay attention to your health. I don't know. What else is it? It is Lailatul Qadr. That's in the U.S., maybe other places too. It's Mother's Day. Oh, happy Mother's Day on May 9th. It's the 27th day of Ramadan. It is Europe Day. In the UK, it is Liberation Day. It's also Mother's Day in other places. In Belarus, it is Day of the National Emblem of and Flag of Belarus. In Romania, it is Father's Day. So fathers and mothers, they all get a day today. In India, it is Guru Rabindranath's birthday. It's Victory Day and Memorial Day in Ukraine. And and also Victory Day in Belarus, Moldova, Russia, Serbia. This all has to do with the end of World War II, I think. In France, it is National Day of Jeanne d'Arc and Patriotism. Is that Joan of Arc? Yes, I think it is. In Argentina, it is Day of Godchildren and Grandchildren. Are there any other holidays that I've missed? We got a lot of that stuff, and I think that looks pretty good. And then, do we have a fun holiday just for today? Let's see. May 9th. May 9th, it is Isra and Miraj. What is this? It's in Islam. It's Mother's Day. It's National Lost Sock Memorial Day. So you can have a little memorial. Maybe you can say a eulogy for all of your lost socks. And it is National Moscato Day. That would be the wine. Yes, the wine Moscato. I think most people don't like it because it's pretty sweet, but I like it. All right. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.